Hey folks, Bill here from Survival Lore. Uh, I said a couple weeks ago on Instagram that I'd be doing a follow-up video to my haversack I've been carrying. Uh, about a year ago, I switched from carrying my old U.S. Army M42 gas mask bag over to the Frost River XL shell bag. Um, I've carried it for a solid year now. The kit started out as one thing; it's kind of evolved into what it is today, and I'm pretty happy with what it is. We'll go over that, all the contents and the changes I made. If you remember the post on Instagram, uh, I shared there, that was what I started with. There are a lot of things that stayed in the kit. There are some things that changed. We'll go over those, and I'll give the reasons for changing them up. Uh, if you have any questions after I go through the kit, feel free to ask in the comments below. I will do a shorter version to throw up on Instagram. So you don't have to come to YouTube and watch the whole video length unless you would like to. I would appreciate that. But without further ado, we'll get started. I carried that XL or that U.S. Army gas mask bag for the better part of 12, 13 years. I think from about 2011 up until April of last year when I switched over to the Frost River. It wasn't that I disliked the gas mask bag. It just wasn't big enough for what I usually ended up carrying. Would end up having to take a small day pack most of the time instead of taking it. So the XL shell bag's a little bigger. It can accommodate what I take on a day hike, a scout trip, and just a basic survival kit better than it could. That was the main function. Two, I really like the Frost River products, the wax canvas. They're just built bulletproof, very high quality American made products. This one still looks pretty well much new, other than some scrapes and a couple loose threads that from getting caught on some briars through here. But we'll open it up, go through, and we'll get started. So we'll go through the main pocket and then we'll go through that little front compartment first. The water bottle I carry is just one of the Clean Canteen smaller stainless steel single wall water bottles. This one had the plastic cap replaced with the stainless steel and bamboo one. I highly recommend. It's just durable. I've dropped other Clean Canteens and the caps just seem a little fragile to me, so whenever I have the opportunity with these smaller ones, I always get that steel bamboo cap. And it's actually the reason I carry this instead of a larger Clean Canteen, because the larger one would fit in here no problem. This is just, I think, the perfect size, and I get to go with that more durable cap on there, especially with the D-ring. So that's my water bottle, the Clean Canteen. I forget how many ounces it is. I think it's like 28 or so. No, 24, I believe. After that, I carry a Emberlit. This is a stainless steel wood stove. Most of the time, if I'm going for a quick hike, scout trip, I'm not going to bother making that big of a fire. It's just easier to heat stuff up over this little wood stove. It's nice. You can throw twigs and stuff in it. My fire steel, big honking one with the elk antler handle. My knife for today is the Spyderco Wilson fork. Very high quality, affordable knife. I think I paid, this was a Christmas present, but I think they go for like $50 on Amazon. It is made in China, but it doesn't take away from the quality. It's a good, high quality Spyderco product in, what is it, 8CR13 MOV. With this kit, I don't need a big knife. Remember, this isn't a expedition kit. This is just to go out, do a short hike, brew up a drink, do some basic stuff. I don't really need a big knife for what I'm doing on those days. So we got that. The saw I'm carrying today is a Silky Pocket Boy. I think this and that Wilson fork are the perfect little combination of being able to feed the wood stove, and if an emergency should happen, it would let me cut ridge poles and stuff, do everything I would need to build a shelter. Next, we'll move into the shelter that I carry. So in here, are 2 pieces of shelter in cover. The first one we'll go over is the Survive Outdoor Longer SOL XL Bivy. I carry one of these in all my kits. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. These are so lightweight, so compact, and the value they provide is kind of immeasurable. Um, Especially in the colder months, we're in like a shoulder season right now. It's the middle of March. So having a bivy out here in case I would have to stay, something happens, I have something that I can get in, have a small fire, get under a tarp, and it'll keep me a little warm through the night. The other shelter component I carry is an Integral Designs Sil Nylon tarp. This isn't Sil Nylon. This might actually be Dyneema. It's an older one. Integral Designs isn't around any longer, but I believe this is about 10, 15 years old now, early 2010s. It's about a 5x8 tarp. The guy lines are attached to the points. The reason I take this is because it fits nicely and almost perfect down into my toque pot. So when I'm packing, it's all about space management, and you can't beat having that inside the pot with my spoon right there intact. So the Integral Designs tarp, I got my Snow Peak titanium spoon. In here is a 750 milliliter Toaks titanium pot with lid. It has the bail, just a really good combination for fitting in this bag. Lets me cook up lunch, make a hot drink, and covers all my needs that may arise if I'm going on a quick scout or just out to have a quick lunch. This bag, it holds a lot. There isn't too much in here, but there is enough. It's a very capable kit if something would happen. Most kits I create can be used as standalone survival kits. I think that's important when you're going out into the woods. You never know what's going to happen. You don't have to be paranoid, but part of not being paranoid is knowing if something does happen, you have the capability of providing for yourself, whether it's starting a fire, boiling water, getting under shelter. It's keeping yourself in a condition that you're able to either obtain self-rescue or notify someone that you need to be assisted out of the woods. So keep that in mind with this kit. Here is a fire kit. This is my basic fire kit. This goes in whatever kit I'm carrying at the time. I have Hudson Bay tin here with some char cloth and a flint and steel kit. Most of the time I'm going out to have fun. I want to practice different fire lighting techniques, and here's my full fire kit. Has my Bic lighter, magnesium pencil sharpener, piece of fat wood, wet fire, my pocket bellows, and these all fit into a small Kifaru pullout. Of course, we go with orange. That way, if someone else needs help, the kit's pretty self-identified. Orange is the fire kit. After that, we have kind of the possibles pouch right here. Just a couple of doodads. I have a Fallen Even DC4 sharpener, some cordage. This is Atwood microcord, the reflective green. 20 feet of 550 cord. My Nicholson rasp file this is a multi-tool for the woods, making traps, friction fire kits. It lets you round stuff off and be more effective when you're making those kits, traps. The ability to shape wood is key when you're in the woods. I don't carry a hook knife. I don't carve really bowls and stuff. But for making trap sets, fireboards, I've found that having this little file goes a long way. It's also hardened. It can be used to start a flint and steel fire. I've ground that edge down, so it strikes a piece of flint really well. And the last thing I have in here, when I come out to the woods, I generally don't carry a multi-tool anymore. When I do, it's usually a Victorinox Swiss tool. But most of the time, I'm just going to carry these. This is a small pair of Nipex Cobras. This is the smallest version with the rubber dipped handle. These are mini vice grips that lock into place wherever you set them. Whether it's EDC, really anything, I can't recommend carrying a pair of these for every person out there. They're just so handy. You don't realize how often you use them until you carry them every day. So that's what goes back in that little possibles pouch. Not too much. but just a way to keep the little things in the pack organized. And lastly, in that main pouch, I have another small Kafara pullout. Just has my headlamp in here, a charger for my phone, headlamp, battery bank, camera, microphone, just an extra cord for all that. And then I always carry my Accurate thermometer. Wherever I go, that's just it. I have a bunch of those. They're in all my bags. But that's what's in this pouch. I'll set that over there. Moving to the front, we pretty much got everything cleared out. Up here, I carry a compass. This is a small Brunton compass, just to get a basic direction for where I'm at if something happened. Just you want to always carry a compass. It lets you know what direction you're moving, and yes, terrain, you can do terrain recognition, different things. But having a compass, they weigh so little, and just giving you the basics for being able to navigate from where you're at goes a long way. So, small Brunton compass in here. I just keep it in this little woodland camo pouch I got from Better Bushcraft. So we got that in there. Then I also have a XL survival scarf from Tough Possum. This, I believe, is the Ranger Green. I went with the XL. Again, if I have to stay overnight, this lets me create a browse bed in here while I have the SOL bivy bag to get in and stay warm with next to a fire. This allows me to make some space between me and the ground. So that's why I cover it. Just these things have so many uses. Carrying firewood, insulation, using as a towel, using as a scarf. Just it's a great little tool. Makes a nice little sit pad. And then I carry a bandana, one of the Wazoo plant ID bandanas. Have a couple of these I keep in various kits. Go over that last because that's kind of a new thing I've been carrying. And then the last two things, these should have been in the possibles pouch, but an emergency whistle and a signal mirror. That's a star flash, and then I believe this is a Vargo titanium whistle. These should be in that little possibles pouch. I don't know why they're there, but that's what's in this kit. Before I go over the things that got changed out, of course, were the toke pot. I had a smaller titanium cup, no bail. It was, I forget the brand, it was an Amazon titanium cup. I replaced it with a the Tokes pot, since it has a bail, butterfly handles, and it just fit perfect to carry my Integral Designs tarp in here. So it just made sense to carry that instead of cup, which took up just about the same space, and that saved me from having to put something else in the cup when I could put the larger tarp in there and save that space altogether. That was one of the biggest changes. Outside of that was replacing the knife I carried most of the time. It was an old Trailblazer Extendasaw knife. Uh, it's in that little camo pouch in the picture. Now I carry, usually it's a fixed blade, whether it's a dozer or something else on my hip, or today I'm carrying the Spyderco, but the saw was also another replacement for that Trailblazer. It worked well enough. The blade just didn't hold that great of an edge for that long, so I opted to just put it back in the collection and carry a more standard belt knife and a good silky pocket boy. Those were the biggest changes, other than adding the wood stove. It wasn't in the original kit. Um, those are the differences. The one thing I didn't show, which we'll get to now, I'll do another in-depth video. It's something I've been carrying around, trying out for the last 7-8 months, especially through winter and stuff. So I like building survival kits and thinking of new ideas of modern things we can use to increase our odds in a survival situation. One of the things I've been doing in practice and testing out to see if it works, I've been carrying a lock sack bag. They're the heavy duty plastic bags. They're watertight. And then I've been carrying these. They're dry pods. This one's a brand new one. I stuck it in here. I have a couple other ones that when you're going around gathering tinder in a wet environment, most time you stick it in your pocket, stick it in your shirt to kind of dry it out. I've been testing it out. I've been gathering tinder, throwing it in the lock sack, and then throwing that dry pod in there after it opens up, and trying to dry out that tinder and seeing how long it takes. It's been fairly effective. It's something I'm going to continue to do, put in most of my survival kits. It doesn't take up a ton of space. It's not a must, but it's just an idea to keep in mind that works. It's just adding a large desiccant packet to a good Ziploc bag and being able to dry out tinder in a wet situation. You go out, you know you're going to be in the woods, it's wet. You gather that bark, your birch bark, your dry grasses. You slide them into the bag, open up that dry pod, throw it in there. A couple hours later, by the time you're ready to make a fire, everything's going to be dried out. When you're done with the trip, you just take that dry pod home, throw it in the microwave, and it recharges it. And then I throw it right back in that lock sack, and it's good to go till the next time I'm going to use it. So we'll do an in-depth video on that, and I'll go over show how I do that. But that's what I've been carrying in my Haversack kit. It is a little different. This is the updated 2025 version. I hope that it explains everything, what I'm carrying, why I'm carrying it. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the comments. I know I've been slacking a little bit on YouTube. That's going to change. Work was a little busy. Stuff was just busy around the house. So I'm going to get back to that. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube. Follow me on Instagram. We did the book giveaway. Gentleman from Pennsylvania won those. Those were already sent out to Greg. So we did that. We'll probably be doing another one once we get to 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. No rush. I'm not in this for gaining anything. It's just something I enjoy doing. I enjoy making the kits, showing them, kind of providing explanation, and just kind of getting out in the woods and having fun with gear. I really enjoy that. I enjoy practicing my skills. So thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you on the next video, and take it easy.